Most histories about the integration of Boston schools in the 1970s focus on the tension between the city's black and white residents.
I want to have a good school in my community.
Busing will never work in this city. Never.
But there's another story that goes beyond black and white.
The bilingual population didn't focus so much on race. It was always the issue of language that we were fighting for.
The parents got together and said, enough is enough. We're not going to put up with this. If we want to get something done, we're going to have to do it ourselves.
As I came to Boston, one of the surprises was how it was really made of little ethnic islands in Jamaica Plain and the South, and there were somewhere between 30 to 40,000 Latinos.
And Chinatown in Boston was a thriving community.
Around 7% of public school students were Asian and Latino. In 1971, following pressure from Latino education activists, Massachusetts became one of the first states in the country to mandate bilingual education in public schools.
Spanish was the largest group, but there were programs in Haitian Creole, in Cape Verdean Chinese, Italian, Greek.
But those bilingual programs were all threatened in 1974 when a U.S. District Court judge ruled that Boston public schools needed to be desegregated.
Judge Garrity ruled that the school committee was guilty of maintaining a dual school system, one for black students and one for whites, that was unconstitutionally segregated.
The solution? Busing white children to predominantly black schools and vice versa. But what about all of the children in the city whose identities didn't fall neatly into one of those two categories?
It was really alarming because for the bilingual populations, it was just 3 years since they had finally had schools created so that they could receive a full program in the languages.
The Latino community formed the Parents Committee for Defense of Bilingual Education as their advocacy group and made their case to Judge Garrity.
One of the main points was the assignment of the bilingual children had to come first. Fortunately, Judge Garrity ended up listening to the argument that the Comité de Parades brought.
But even though bilingual education programs were preserved, non-English-speaking children were being bused to neighborhoods far from their communities. Chinatown's mothers were still concerned. So in the fall of 1975, they urged Chinese parents not to send their children to school until their safety was assured.
None of us realized how successful the boycott was until we were told that there were very few Chinese students in any school in the city of Boston for the first 3 days. And it was the first time in the history of our community that non-English speaking women have took things into their own hands.
The mother's plan worked.
The parents got everything that they demanded. Safety monitors on the buses to ride the bus with the children. They wanted someone that can speak the language in the school, that can communicate with the parents. And they also wanted seats on the Parents' Council, the same voice as the black and white parents.
Even after these victories, though, there was one way none of the students could get beyond the black-white divide.
Even if the bilingual programs were saved, it was at times frightening. There was a lot of prejudice.
The community sentiment between the two groups is so hostile at that point. And when the parents came to visit the school, they can feel it. They can feel it when they see people holding placards to tell them to go home, that you're not welcome here.
So in this whole fight, we were able to preserve bilingual education, but we weren't able to protect the children from the prejudice that existed in the city.